Bully messed with the new black girl. Big mistake. She was a Jiu-Jitsu. Beginning, the new arrival. The morning bell at Halcyon High Academy always carried with it the same energy, slamming lockers, students yelling half-hearted greetings, and the electric hum of adolescence buzzing through the long, sterile hallways. But on that particular Monday, the air shifted. A new student had arrived, and rumors had already spread before she even set foot in the cafeteria. Her name was Zara Mitchell, a tall, lean black girl with eyes like sharpened obsidian and a posture that radiated calm self-control. She wore her natural curls in a tight bun, and unlike most students who shuffled with shoulders slouched, Zara walked as though the hallway were a runway designed specifically for her. What no one knew, at least not yet, was that Zara was not just another transfer. She and her mother had relocated after her father, a military scientist, disappeared under mysterious circumstances during a classified space expedition. Her mother had whispered to Zara on their first night in town. "Stay strong. You'll be tested. Not just at school, but beyond it. Your father's work, it's not finished." Zara carried that weight in silence. By lunchtime, whispers had turned to stares. When she picked up her tray, a boy from the football team intentionally bumped her shoulder, trying to test her reaction. She didn't flinch. Instead, she looked him in the eye until he turned away, laughing awkwardly to cover his nerves. But not everyone was so easily intimidated. At the far end of the cafeteria sat Kayla Rourke, the self-declared queen of Halcyon High. She was the kind of girl who lived off others' fear, platinum blonde hair, designer sneakers, and a tongue sharper than a scalpel. If Kayla didn't like you, the rest of the school didn't either. And she definitely didn't like Zara. "Look at her," Kayla muttered to her clique. "Walking around like she owns the place. She needs to learn her place." Kayla's place was dominance. Zara's place was yet to be determined. But the collision course was already set. Middle, tension and the spark. Days turned into weeks, and Zara's presence continued to disrupt the natural order of Halcyon High. She was quiet, but when she spoke, her words carried weight. In science class, she corrected the teacher's explanation of orbital mechanics with such precision that even the instructor paused, eyebrows raised. Kayla seethed. One Friday afternoon, after the dismissal bell, Zara lingered by her locker when Kayla and her posse cornered her. "Hey, new girl," Kayla sneered. "You think you're smart? You think you're better than us?" Zara calmly shut her locker, her face unreadable. "No. But I don't need to be better than you." The response only fueled Kayla's rage. She shoved Zara hard against the cold metal lockers. Students nearby gasped, their eyes darting nervously between the two girls. But Zara didn't shove back. Instead, she stepped forward smoothly, her movements calculated. She didn't raise her fists. She didn't yell. She simply shifted her weight into a stance that looked oddly precise. Kayla lunged again, this time grabbing Zara's arm. In a blink, Zara twisted her wrist, pivoted her hips, and sent Kayla tumbling onto the floor with a soft thud that echoed louder than any punch could. Gasps rippled through the crowd. "What the hell was that?" someone whispered. "That's Jiu-Jitsu," another replied, awe in his tone. Kayla scrambled up, red-faced and humiliated. "You're gonna regret that," she spat, but her voice cracked. Zara only looked at her calmly. "I don't want to fight you. But don't mistake that for weakness." That was the spark. What Zara didn't realize was that this incident wouldn't just put her on Kayla's enemy list, it would entangle her in something far larger than high school drama. The science fiction twist. That night, as Zara studied in her room, her computer flickered strangely. Symbols she didn't recognize danced across the screen, equations, coordinates, and encrypted messages. She leaned closer, heart racing. This wasn't a virus. This was a transmission. Her father's voice, faint and distorted, emerged through the static. "Zara, if you're receiving this, I may not return. They've discovered our research. The portal project, others want it. Trust no one. Protect the code. And Zara, you'll need your training. Both your mind and your jiu-jitsu." The screen went black. Zara sat frozen. Her father's disappearance had never been explained, and now, here was proof he was alive, or at least he had been when he recorded that message. The next morning, the hallways buzzed with exaggerated stories of Zara's takedown of Kayla. But Zara barely heard them. She was too distracted, scanning the school for signs of danger. And then she saw it. Two men in black suits stood near the school's office, pretending to read the bulletin board. Their posture was military. Their eyes, concealed behind sunglasses, followed Zara wherever she went. Something was happening. And somehow, Kayla was about to get dragged into it. The confrontation. Kayla wasn't done with Zara. She couldn't stand that the new girl had embarrassed her in front of half the school. So she planned something bigger, a showdown behind the gym after last period. Word spread fast. By 3 o'clock, nearly 50 students had gathered in a loose circle around the back of the building. Kayla stood in the center, fists clenched, adrenaline and fury mixing in her veins. Zara arrived, but she wasn't looking at Kayla. She was scanning the rooftops, the parking lot, the shadows. The men in suits were there, watching. Kayla mistook Zara's distraction for arrogance. "You think you can ignore me?" she screamed. Before Zara could reply, Kayla lunged. The fight exploded. Kayla swung wildly, but Zara flowed like water, sidestepping and redirecting her energy. Each time Kayla attacked, Zara countered with precision, a wrist lock, a trip, a sweep. Kayla ended up on the ground again and again, each fall drawing gasps from the crowd. But then it happened. A sharp crack split the air, not from fists, but from something mechanical. One of the suited men aimed a strange device, pulsing with blue light. A portal flickered open behind him, shimmering like liquid glass. The students screamed, scattering in panic. Kayla froze, terror washing away her bravado. What is that?" she cried. Zara grabbed her arm. "Move. Now." They sprinted toward the fence, but the men advanced, their weapons glowing brighter. One shouted. "Subject identified, Zara Mitchell. Seize her alive." The words froze Zara's blood. They weren't here for Kayla. They were here for her. Escape and revelation. Zara pulled Kayla into the nearby maintenance shed, slamming the door shut. Kayla panted, shaking. What the hell is going on? Zara's chest heaved, her mind racing. Should she tell her? Could she trust her? Finally, she said. "Those men, they're not normal agents. They're after something my father built, a portal to other worlds. He sent me a message last night. They know I have part of the code." Kayla's eyes widened. "Portal? Other worlds? You're insane." A blast shook the shed. Dust rained from the ceiling. Zara grabbed a length of pipe, her jiu-jitsu stance returning instinctively. "Believe me or not. But if we don't fight together, we won't survive." For the first time, Kayla saw Zara not as an enemy, but as someone terrifyingly calm under impossible pressure. They burst from the shed, and Zara unleashed her training. She disarmed one agent, using his own momentum to throw him flat on his back. Kayla, though clumsy, grabbed a loose brick and swung it wildly at another, buying Zara time. They ran, hearts pounding, until they reached the science wing of the school. Zara typed furiously on a classroom computer, trying to replicate the strange transmission she'd received. Kayla, pacing, asked, "Why me? Why drag me into this?" Zara shot her a quick glance. "Because you were there. And because I can't do this alone." For once, Kayla had no snappy comeback. Climax, through the portal. The agents broke through the door. Zara hit the final key. The monitor glowed, projecting a swirling blue vortex into the air. The portal. "Kayla, go." Zara shouted. But Kayla hesitated. "You're coming too, right?" Zara nodded, even though fear clawed at her insides. Together, they dove into the vortex as the agents lunged. They tumbled through a tunnel of stars and colors beyond comprehension before landing hard on metallic ground. The air was thin but breathable. Around them stretched a vast alien city, towers spiraling like twisted glass, ships darting through a lavender sky. Kayla gasped. This is real." A voice crackled in the distance. Zara turned, and her heart nearly stopped. It was her father. Alive. Zara, you made it. But joy was short-lived. Behind them, the agents were already emerging from the portal, weapons raised. Zara stepped forward, placing herself between her father, Kayla, and the threat. Her stance was unshakable. This was more than high school, more than survival. This was destiny. The battle that followed was chaos, Zara using her jiu-jitsu in zero-gravity patches, flipping agents who underestimated her skill, Kayla surprising even herself by smashing control panels to block their advance. Zara's father desperately inputting override codes to shut the portal before more enemies arrived. At last, the final agent fell, subdued by a brutal armbar that Zara locked in with perfect precision. The portal flickered, then collapsed, sealing them in the alien world, but safe, for now. Ending a new alliance. The three of them sat on the metallic ground, catching their breath. Zara's father embraced her tightly. You've grown stronger than I ever imagined. The training, it saved you. Kayla sat nearby, still trembling but with new respect in her eyes. I thought you were just some show-off new girl. But you're something else. Zara managed a tired smile. You're not so bad yourself. Maybe next time, aim before you swing a brick. For the first time, Kayla laughed, not cruelly, but genuinely. The alien city loomed before them, 1,000 mysteries waiting. Zara knew their fight wasn't over. The agents would return, and the portal project was far from safe. But she also knew she wasn't alone anymore. High school drama seemed trivial compared to what lay ahead. Still, Zara couldn't help but feel a strange satisfaction. The bully had messed with a new black girl. Big mistake. Because Zara Mitchell wasn't just a jiu-jitsu fighter. She was the future.